We thank you for viewing the first part of the interview with Mr. Smutty as he spoke about growing up in Grenada. Now, Mr. Smutty will share with you his experience during March 13th, 1979, Grenada's revolution. Well, you touched on an important point there now. You know what we're going to speak about next?
No.
You said the revolution.
All right. But I was caught up in the midst of the revolution on the morning of March 13th. I was taken out from St. Paul's police station to an unknown mission. How they operate in the post, they don't tell you. Such missions, they don't tell you where we're going so and so time or nothing. You board the transport. You comply, and then if you have a complaint, you make it. And it was about 2, 3 in the morning. We left the station, and all I know, we were heading towards, let's say, St. George's area. We went Mount Royal, we picked up some more policemen, and then I see a head down the lane. And we just know we're going. Well, we drove. When we reached the Chublu roundabout, I noticed fire in the distance down towards Chublu side. See, it seems as though we were going down there. Look, fire. I really made a joke out of it because you just know you're in a vehicle and you don't.
So, like you thought you was going to out the fire?
Yes, or do some sort of duties in and around the area. Right. Yes. Well, some of the participants in the bus they dropped off different locations, but I was fortunate to drop out in the gate, that Chublu gate, the gate leading down to Chublu, and it will be in the junction of Morris Bishop Highway now. But all about where the brewery and these places was filled with briar, just trees, it wasn't populated as now. So we took covers, we lay on the ground, and you're hearing gun firing. So I said to myself, why the defense force guys have to get on so? Not because the place, but because somebody whispered the barracks on fire. So I thought they were kind of irritated because their place burning, so they're just shooting out and things. Not knowing these people were more seeking shelter or running for their lives than anything else. It happened that about 3, 4, after 4 now, going to 5 o'clock, I heard a scuffle in the gate, in that gate. I thought, come out the van, come out the van, bow. And I could vividly. I heard what somebody said. When I was in the company of one inspector called Cado, we used to call him Cabbage. So he probably sensed something was going on. And as though they saw.
He didn't know either.
It doesn't seem so. Okay. We were lying flat on the ground, and you could hear bullets hitting the trees, the branches over our head. So I said, that's serious business. So we decided now we're going to take a few of us in this group and go out to the gate. So he said, Inspector Cado, don't shoot. He said, come out, come out. So we walked out, and I had a 45. He said, drop your pistols, drop your weapons. I threw it on the ground, and he had his hand and so on. And he said, this is no Inspector Cado time now. This is the jewel boy that take over. And that's the only time from St. Paul Station I get to know something was going on. So I hear people giving all kind of account and details of this revolution, and this, I could tell you I had first hand. This is first hand. I could pinpoint people that I saw that morning.
So when you tell you drop your weapon, you drop
you have a little 45 in your hand, you're men firing rifle and all kind of things surrounding you. You won't play stupid and hold on to it.
So you want to speak about what transpired from there?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Well, they started to capture us.
Uh-huh.
Not physically, they ordered us onto that same van that we heard the scuffle in the gate. And one of the policemen, they picked up lower down. Well, they had a few people at the back of a pickup. There was about 15 or more of us in the back of a pickup. And he touched me on it. He said, "You down on the floor, you know." So he was sitting on a bed, coming off of us, the police. He was in CID. He got shot inside, put him on the van, coming out and maybe picking up or who they capture or whatever. And he was on the floor of that van and he was actually sitting. And we didn't.
I don't know.
I remember.
He was scared.
Well, yes, we were.
Yeah.
Since even say I was a bit scared. Well, we are moving up now and everything now coming out from Chublu up. And I say up because we don't know where we're going. I'm going to tell you where we end up. And some people were coming in. Apparently they called some of the hierarchies from the force, I think, to come down. Maybe in an effort to capture them. And I remember Mr. Adonis Francis coming in. He was an ASP at the time. And he coming in. And they grabbed him. They said, "Oh, you look duck," they used to call him, nickname. Look duck head. And I'm gonna drop some planners on him. So they had fish guns, they had cutlass, they had rifles, they have all these kind of things. And they're telling people that it was 9 people that did the overthrow. That's not true.
A lot more.
No. They had truckloads. This thing was a well orchestrated thing. It was maybe one of the world's best kept secret, or Grenada's best kept secret. They didn't let it out. Everybody moved. They moved at the time they had to move. And they planned us up, Mr. Francis. And I said, look, why are you always doing like that? I'm going to tell Morris. Maybe he had some little insight about it. But he got some planners there that morning and he said what he had to say. And I hearing all these things. Well, we started proceeding, now coming towards St. George's. It was like 5-ish in the morning. You could see people all on the housing scheme. They're right on the road. They started looking out who was in the veranda. And we just driving and people had guns pointing at us because we the captive.
Yes.
And you can't say, oh, on Harper you'll jump off and run and things so. And we proceeding towards St. George's. And all of a sudden when we reach Monroe's, we see them make this left turn down towards Monroe's side. That time they had Radio Grenada.
Right.
And they brought us down inside Radio Grenada compound. They brought us there. We spent the entire day. We were captured, we were captive. Revolution. Yes.
Okay, so and that's where you stayed for the day?
For the day, yeah, along with some members of the force, Mr. Bido, a few guys well.
So when you was there, what you was hearing or?
Well, even on the radio,
Uh-huh.
they was making a lot of statements. This is Radio Grenada, and the regime of the Archbishop has just been, taking over control from here. Thing was to that effect.
Right.
Yeah. And people were in and out who they bringing news and, and that's how the Radio Free Grenada thing came about. And they took us out from there about 8 the night.
Okay.
So, and still again.
Okay, so after they released you 8 the night and they just let you go?
No, they put us back on some vehicles. I think the same yellow little pickup. Well, it was belonging to one of their comrades, Strand Philip. And we were heading out up towards St. George's. Let's say the town of St. George's. Well, I had relatives in Grenada, so I say, And if we reach there, I wouldn't be able to walk up to that hill tonight. I'm going to just drop off in Grenada overnight. There was a police officer. He used to work in the fire department. He used to drive the fire truck. He was a modest. And when he reached close to his gap, he kept knocking the vehicle. Hey, all you drop me. And they ignore him and the van just keep going. I say, oh.
I don't want to laugh.
No, it is a joke. It is. And they keep driving. Oh, drop me by Mussolini shop. And the driver just didn't know where they were going with us. Hey. But I say I ain't knocking because I was the next corner. After Mussolini shop at the post office, I would have dropped out by Miss Peggy and sleep the night. I say, Lord, look what's going on. So, hey, when we reach Botanical Gardens now, and don't know what to say, a whole line of vehicles, only lights behind us. We the captive, we in this vehicle. And everybody driving behind us. And we heading now, when we reach Botanical Garden, up the lane. I say, what? Well, I'll drop out in St. Paul Station. What? When the drama start to unfold, when they in the back of the van, they grumbling, and the still men pointing at you. You can't jump or you can't see you on hop and run and things so. Hey. When we reach the White Gun, the few vehicles that was in front of us, maybe doing escort and so on, I see every one of them, their indicator, the right indicator on. I say, Lord have mercy. If you know White Gun and you see everybody right indicator on, you know right person?
Hey, Richmond Hill.
Richmond Hill in front of. I said, what?
Jesus. You know you ain't doing nothing wrong. How many people laugh about this thing?
It is a joke now.
Oh my God.
Yes. You look in front of you, right indicator. You look back, a whole line, everybody going. I said, Lord, well, next we reaching there about 9 at night. We put us in the actual cells. And I made about the first week of the revolution up in the prisons.
Whole week.
Yes. But you see again, sometimes they say, do not be afraid now.
Right, I was about to ask you, why are you in there? Did anyone come to you, communicate what's happening? Why are you there? So what they told you?
Inspector Williams, Sheridan Williams at the time, he came up there and apparently like he was showing the guys from the revolution side of it. This man, let release him.
Because you ain't do nothing.
That's it, yes. You just caught up
Nice.
in the crossfire and thing, and you know. So I spent just a couple of days and I was released.
So were other men there?
Yes, other colleagues of mine, they made years in there. They made time. They made time up to the, you know, when the government changed and all this kind of thing. So they made some time in there. So that was an experience, just like that. And in there, you know, despite what happened, you could make fun of it now.
No, but
I remember when we reached up, we met a magistrate at the time called Mr. St. Louis. Not Brim St. Louis, I think this one was from Grenada. But he had sentenced a notorious guy called Brian, and Brian was a murderer. And he was in the condemned cell there. And whilst we were out in the courtyard in the prison in the morning, he started laughing. He said, oh, Mr. St. Louis, look me here, you know, you send me up, look me here. Yes.
All of us meet up.
You know, people find time to laugh at these things.
No,
Yeah, of course.
This is dreadful.
Yes.
So
yes.
when you got back home now, what happened after that?
I went back. I went to resume duties.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I went back to St. Paul's. I spent Well, it was 79. I spent another 2 years up there.
Uh-huh.
And then I said I had enough because police was.
So you left before 83?
Yes, I left 81.
Okay, okay.
Police didn't had the powers they normally had before that time. The military or the army felt they were in charge of everything, and you were just there, like more like a show than anything else.
Okay, so it didn't make sense.
I wasn't enjoying it. I wasn't enjoying it.
So were you in Grenada in 83?
No.
Oh,
no, I was in Trinidad.
Okay. We thank you for viewing part 1 and 2 of this lovely interview with Mr. Smutty, as he gave you a brief history of growing up in Grenada with his experience as an artist, one who been part of Grenada's revolution and more. We hope that you enjoyed. Please do share with your friends and family and ensure that they too subscribe. We thank you for viewing, and this is where we say goodbye.